Come on.
Real people, real celebrities, real talk.
Join the Breakfast Club.
Blast off in your ear.
Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Special guest and OG in the building this morning.
Master P.
Master P.
What's up, homie?
What up, P?
Morning,
Good,
sir.
good.
Now you got this record out here with Lil Wayne right now, the Power record.
Yeah.
You know, has he come to you and then asked you for advice about what to do with the trouble he having with Cash Money?
Nah, I don't even get into that, man. You know what I'm saying? It was, we've been working on this. You know what I'm saying? Wayne, you know, him and McMahon, they hit me up about doing a record. I decided to do it and we just swapped. That's it. All that other stuff, we not into that.
What was that call like from McMahon? He just...
Well, they know, you know, it's overdue. It's all timing. You know what I'm saying? Wayne been trying to get me on some records, and I was gonna do something, you know, with him in Rome and some of my other artists back in the days, but the timing just worked out.
Okay. So what made the timing right this time? Because I know there was, everybody said y'all used to have beef and there was problems and all that other stuff.
Well, beef with Cash Money and No Limit.
With Cash Money, No
not
Limit,
beef
yeah.
with P and Wayne per se.
I don't know what you're talking about. Like, we don't get into that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't never been no problem with us. Y'all know me. You know how it is. You know, we from the Calio Projects. You know, they from the Magnolia side. You know what I'm saying? I got artists from the Magnolia too. So, you know, it's just we never did nothing.
Yeah, that's why people probably felt like that, because they never heard anything.
They never heard anything
and
together,
it seemed like
right.
a natural collaboration. So
And now that he not rocking with Cash Money no more, it was like, damn, was that's what was
The
stopping the
timing is
collaboration?
Not really. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the time, you know, we come from the streets and it was like, we was going through a lot of things. They was probably going through a lot of things. And everybody don't get on with other people that's in your hood or do whatever. But, you know, the timing, we grown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Wayne, one of the best rappers in the world. And, you know, for what we doing, the mob, this the movement. You know what I'm saying? So it's a new world order.
Right. I saw an interview Young Turk did, and he said that him and Wayne were actually going to sign to you at one point.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's all love, man. We want the best talent. That's what it's about with us. You know, I'm back in this thing, and the youngsters that I have, you know, they keep me back in this thing. You know, it feels good. I'm able to put some artists from my hood that grew up in the Calio Projects, and, you know, with Ace B, you know, Black and Mild, you know, Eastwood, Young June from Pittsburgh. I feel good about the team.
You got the Money Mafia.
Yeah.
What happened to the Louis V boy?
Oh yeah, Louis V. Mob. You know, that's the stuff with me and Alley Boy. You know what I'm saying? So Alley Boy, we working on some stuff. Matter of fact, we doing the Ice Cream Man Part 2. Me, Alley Boy, and Gucci Man. So you gonna see that.
What got you back into music so tough? Because it seems like you took a break and you were doing other things. You were doing, you name it, you was doing from real estate, sports management. Now you're back on the music real tough. What got you in that zone?
I got that, you know, it's like when you did something, you so good, we sold 75 million records, you know, and then I got back into it, you know, with the youngsters around me, you know, I feel good. You know, like the music going back to the 90s, going back to real street music.
Right.
And I feel like with the team I have, I'm just going to go farther this game. You know what I'm saying? Show them what to do, show them how to get this money. And that's what the mob is about, money mafia.
You ever feel too grown for it? Because, you know, you play ball. You ever feel like, man, I'm Jordan now. Let me put the suit on and sit on the sideline.
Now, if you look at it, even Jordan, you know, when he was grown, he still come back. You know he can't dunk like he used to, but he could put up jumpers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't have to get – I think I'm at the OG status. So you got to look at – even when I was in the hood, you at the OG status. You still out there hustling, doing what you got to do. You don't do what the youngsters do, but – you know what I'm saying? You at that status where you can do that. I can't play. I can sit back and call shots now. I done paid my dues.
Now, with all of this social media and everybody online and stuff, a lot of your personal stuff has been circulating and, you know, family business. How different are things, would you say, now than they were when you were first coming up?
Yeah, I mean, it's a social media, everything, people in your business. But you know what? I'm a dude that come from nothing, so all that don't mean nothing. At the end of the day, I got love for my kids. That's what it's about. I do what I do. You know, I don't get caught up into that. That just come with the territory now because it's just how the business is with through social media. But at the same time, you still got to deal with real people. At the end of the day, you got to deal with the real people. And, you know, so you can hide behind social media. You could do all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to deal with the real people. And that's what life is about.
Now, one of the big stories was they say you lost custody of your kids because you didn't show up to court.
Man, I'm with my kids every day. So, you know what I'm saying?
And your kids have even come forward to say, you know.
Well, you know, that's what I'm saying. You can't believe everything you hear and see.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you still got a life. Like y'all, besides this, y'all still have a life. So no matter what's going on here, do this stuff here, but at the same time, you still got to live. Somebody going to talk about you. Somebody going to talk about you. Somebody talking about you. What you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when somebody see you, you going to be 100, and they going to have to prove or whatever. Same thing with me. You know, you want the real facts, come see me.
Right, because it felt like for a little while it was really a public war going on, but then it seems like you stepped back and you said, you know what, I apologize. I'm sorry that we went through.
Well, it wasn't that. You know, I think with anything, if you've been in a relationship, somebody used to whatever, then you're going to be used to not being with that person. You don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know, especially that person going to go out and get the money and do what he got to do. So you might not find another person like that. So that's where the fear might come in. But, you know, that's life, man. You know, relationships, once it's good, but once it go bad.
Ooh, you never know.
Exactly.
How did you end up getting so like on the low with your money? Because there was times when you see Master P on the Forbes list, but last year they said she wanted $67 million. So everybody know P still got money.
They were like, he got 13 properties.
Yeah, 31 properties. And all that. Like,
I was
how
like,
you
well,
keep your
damn.
name out of the headlines with that type of stuff?
You know what, to be honest with you, you got to grow up and you got to understand about money, what to do with it, how to get it, how to spend it, those type of things. Like, I'm not into the personal money thing no more. I'm not into what somebody say or whatever. It's about business with me. I'm grown. It's about building generational wealth. It's about preparing my kids for the future. So, you know, preparing the Money Mafia team that I have, showing them, you know, we're not an artist-driven company. We all partners. So, you know, it's teaching everybody how to eat and how to build businesses and corporations. It's not about self no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you come from the project, you want to have something for yourself, but I never built a self-business because I always have a great team. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody told me you only get on the Forbes list if you want your name on it.
Yeah. I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? So this year, y'all gonna see I'm coming out with the Master Cam. That's the Master Cam. It's a real camera that you could video, download to YouTube. Been like 7 years building the technology for this. So in China, so you know, it's about getting businesses. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the next thing is technology. So for me coming from the streets, from the projects, and to be able to do that's incredible. And also, I got $1 billion worth of knowledge. So it ain't about how much money you have. You know what I'm saying? You have to educate yourself and prepare for the future. And that's what the mob is about. It's about, you know, I'm the godfather. You know what I'm saying?
It seems like ever since you first got started in the music business, you've always been really innovative and creative, and invested your money really well. Were there mistakes that you made really early on? That
everybody make mistakes.
Because it seems like you had like the crazy deal situations that had never been done before. Like, how did you even know to do that?
You know what? It's just a blessing, education. Even though I come from the ghetto, you know, you gotta understand. I used to have A's and B's. I got to fight when I come back to the project because everybody else got D's and L's. I got A's and B's. You know, it don't pay to be dumb.
Right.
You know, it pays to be smart. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that, you know, getting out there, not being afraid to educate yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that was one thing I did to be able to go from the streets to get in corporate America. You know, I had to look at my image, what I was going to do with myself.
Now, question, when you came in the game, I mean, looking at the music industry now, you were selling records out your trunk, out the record store, but now they don't have that option anymore. People are not buying CDs, and it seems like they're bootlegging anymore. So what still makes you want to do it? Because I don't think you can possibly sell as much as you did before. Now, you can't beat $75 million. Like, that's tough.
Well, let me tell you something. You can make money while you sleep if you get the right fire behind your project, and if you don't have to go through a big system with all the money is getting cut off there. So you got to look at what Beyonce did, proved it. If you're a big artist and you put the right project out there and visual and have the right campaign with it, you can make a lot of money because you don't have to make up all the covers, you don't have to do all the marketing you had to do back in the days. So it's a digital game, but you have to understand it. Maybe about 2-3 years from now, I'm going to show y'all. So we just getting back into it, but it's all about preparing for this digital wave that's going to kick in where the money going to come back.
You know, you always had like a large stable of artists, but you never heard your artists be like, P don't pay us, P taking money from us. Listen a little bit, but not crazy. So you know, that's jealousy though, to be honest with you. Like, my artists know. If you listen to anybody that's been on my team that got real money, they know, from Snoop to Mystical to on down. The ones that got real money, they know the difference. The ones that didn't do nothing, I'm not giving you nothing if you ain't work for it. You got to earn yours, just like I have to earn mine. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you'll see the artists I have, they should be on the mob, but they happy because we have a partnership. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they spend their money. You know, everybody's not to be a boss. They want to think they're a boss. They think because they rap a vehicle or something, they got a record company. But that ain't it. Right. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of preparation. As a mogul, what reason would the CEO of a label have not to pay his flagship.
Exactly. I'm going to pay. Let me tell you something. Whoever at the top of my list, they getting whatever.
Yeah.
They getting whatever. Just if I want to keep it, unless I don't want to be in the business no more.
You still speak to your brother Silk? You still speak to him?
Yeah.
What's Silk doing now?
Silk doing
he talking to his brother.
Come
No,
on,
I'm
man.
just saying. I don't know if he's back. I don't know if he's with the company. I'm just asking.
Emmy's the only child. He doesn't understand.
Yeah, he don't
Let me tell
understand
you
brothers.
something, man.
You don't understand anything about that brother concept.
Let me explain something to you, man. We talk about family. That's family. Like that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? So all that other stuff, this is my family. You know, we might get mad at each other today, tomorrow. We whooping somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's family. That's just how it is. But you know, still doing this thing, man. You know, hanging in there. You know what I'm saying? You get in this position in life, you know, you get caught up and you got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how it go.
What about Boosie? Any plans on doing stuff with Boosie?
You know, man, Boosie hot. You know what I'm saying? That's my little homie. You know, they come underneath me. And, you know, they doing their thing, and you know, I just got back into this. You know what I'm saying? Got back into it heavy. So anybody that's hot, I'm definitely gonna do something with Boosie. You know what I'm saying? Boosie the truth. You know what I'm saying? And it's time. It's overdue.
Now, Fat Trell was with the Louis V mob. He's with MMG now.
Yeah.
He made some comments and said that it was some mishandled business at No Limit Forever.
What mishandled business? If you look at it, Fat Trell was on a mixtape. So he wasn't signing No Limit. So you know that's how stuff get. You know what I'm saying? Don't let people make something seem it's not. Fat Trell doing this thing. Big up to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it was. I mean, I invested in the mixtape to put it out. That's it. Good luck to him.
Right.
Now, stepping back into music, are you also going to step back into film now?
Yeah, I'm stepping. You know, the movie coming out, the Master P movie, I got a 3-part trilogy to it. So the first one, the Ice Cream Man, coming and put it right after that NWA movie. So waiting for that to come out. We're doing casting in L.A. for the movie right now.
It's major release or independent?
No, major. It's going to be a major release. And I put the money up for it, but it's going to be a major release.
Yeah, just don't have it come on Lifetime.
No, it ain't coming on that. It ain't coming on that, dog. You ain't got to worry about that.
Now, you when you was like, you know, hustling in the streets of New Orleans, did you have the dreams of the things you accomplished? Did you say to yourself, I'm going to have me a musical empire, I'm going to do the movie thing?
Yeah. You know what? To be honest with you, I've always thought out the box. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I was in a project. I was trying to figure out, like, this ain't the life for me. You know, all my homies was getting killed. My brother got killed. I said, I got to do something else. You know, Rome was my motivation. You know, Rome definitely motivated me because watching him as a young kid, I said I ain't want to die back here. I got something to live for with him. And I packed up my bags and moved to California, and that's what you're going to see in the movie, you know what I'm saying? And I think you got to have something you love. When you're in the streets and you don't love nothing, you're going to die or go to jail.
How old is Rome now? I see it like we grew up with Rome. How old is Rome now?
Rome 24.
24, okay.
Yeah.
He still rapping?
Yeah, he rapping. He on this Money Mafia this right now. It's Maserati Rome. He grew up now, man. You know what I'm saying? Rome really come from the streets. It ain't no, you know what I'm saying? We was raised in the project, and then we just was blessed to be able to see something else. So it's definitely a blessing to see what, you know, all my other friends' kids dead in prison that are Rome age. Right. So it's just good. God is good, man. We just got a chance to see a second life.
Has Rome ever tried to do like street records? And you had to pull him to the side like, nah, Rome. Nah.
Now, to be honest with you, it is in his blood, but he don't have to do street records. Just be himself. You know what I'm saying? He about living life, about getting money, about representing, and that's what he talk about on the record. He the president of the company. Now I'm the chairman. You know what I'm saying? It's about building a generational wealth. That's what it's about. Is
it true that you used to give your artists a lump sum of money and a car? But you kept everything. You keep the whole album. The album was yours, publishing.
No, never did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's about business with me. You know, yeah, my artists got cars and houses, but they had to earn that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So at the same time, you know, when you come from together, you don't have nothing. So you want to see your people with stuff. Right. But at the same time, you got to be able to make the money back. You know what I'm saying? If you give somebody something, you got to be able to make that money back. Right. And if you don't make it, then there's no need to do business.
I always wanted to know, how did the Snoop deal happen? Because Snoop was on fire, and he could have went anywhere, and he decided to go with you guys. Like, what made Snoop and you decide to do a deal with each other back then?
Snoop knew I had his back, man, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Snoop is a very talented person.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I felt like at the time Snoop was an icon. Mm-hmm. He needed to be on top of his game. You know, and he still is, to be honest with you. But I felt, you know, like one man trash could be another man treasure. Mm-hmm. I seen Snoop as treasure. You know what I'm saying? He a hard-working artist. He a hard-working person. He love his family. You know, he loved what he's involved in. And, you know, he came through No Limit for, like, the university, then graduated and went and did his thing. You know, I mean, Snoop, we always been 100 because he always been solid. You know, you can't hate on a man like that. Whatever problems he had in the street or whatever, you know, whatever, it don't matter.
Did you and Suge ever have any issues because of that?
I don't have issues with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. I don't have no issues with nobody. So, you know, I treat every man fair like they treat me. Disrespect me, then that's what it is.
I felt like that when I saw the video for Power with you and Wayne. I felt like Wayne was coming to you for the same way Snoop came to you at the time.
Like, if there's a problem, call Uncle P.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You know what? I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can tell y'all. I'm chilling.
So there's never been a beef between Cash Money and No Limit, or was this friendly competition, or what?
Man, let me explain something to you. Our hoods is right up the street from each other.
Yeah.
What we do, we live this. You know what I'm saying? It's no problems. I mean, they doing their thing, we doing our thing. You know, if I got a problem with somebody, I'm going to see them. I'm not going to come talk to y'all about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's never been me. You can look up my MO and check it out. You know, me and my homeboys, we got the same homeboys. Me and Bias, you see the light-skinned dude with the nappy bush from the projects. We've been down since day one, 24 years of this. So this mark No Limit 24K. You know what I'm saying? And it's all real. It's all solid.
In other words, we're not going to see Master P beefing on Twitter or
I
on
never.
Instagram.
You ain't gonna never slap an artist for a track the way Diddy had to do
never.
Drake?
I don't know nothing about that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
You know?
P talk like he's still in the hood, like he's still hustling. Like, hey man, I don't know nothing.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
No, I never left the hood. I just made money. You know what I'm saying? And took it to another hood where you live a better life, but you still got to be who you is because it's about respect.
Absolutely.
And I respect my artists. I respect the people around me, and I demand that same respect from them. That's it.
How do you still have that balance though? Because a lot of people, you know, they say when they leave the hood, and the hood is like, yo man, you left the hood, you don't come back.
I'm tied to the hood because I'm about taking care of the kids in the hood. You know, my foundation is let the kids grow. I'm trying to say to the kids that they don't go through the stuff we had to go through. So I never left. I'm redeveloping the project. When you go look me up, they know. After the hurricane, that's what we doing. We growing up. We in the development. We in the real estate. You know what I'm saying? And can't nobody say they doing it. But you have to be mature. You have to be educated to understand that. You also have to be street to be able to go in the project and deal with that. Because everybody know you back there. Everybody wants something free.
Right.
So if you're not real, you don't need to be in that business. You know what I'm saying?
You give so much back. What other artists give a lot back to your community? Because you give a lot back to New Orleans.
Yeah. Well, you know, I don't really know. I just try to do my part. The man up above blessed me. You know what I'm saying? Even when I was on the streets, I was trying to do my thing to help the kids. I didn't know. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if I make it out, I want to teach these kids, whoever make it out like me, come back. Right. That's how we're going to keep this going.
Now, when you do this movie, are you going to cast your kids in any of the roles? Have they talked to you about that?
I think Romeo probably going to play one of the cousins. You know what I'm saying? But
Symphonique is going to be in it?
I don't know. You know, she got so much going on right now. Symphonique, you know, she working on her album. She working on movies.
To her agent. She's like, you got to talk to me.
I ain't no talking to no agent. We ain't never lived like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but, you know, I'm proud of my kids. To be honest, come from where I come from, the struggle to watch them. They getting real money. They doing their thing. And they ain't got to be out here making noise, being in the tabloids. They just doing their thing.
Right.
You know, and that's the, people don't understand. It's about the product deals and all those type of things. And my kids can do that. I mean, they done paved the way where they can go, you know, they educated, they can speak well, they could go get product deals, which a lot of artists can't get right now.
Right.
Well, I feel like, you know, guys like you, even though y'all don't floss necessarily, but y'all should let people know what's really still going on all the time.
He's flossing.
You know what I'm saying?
He look at that ring right there. That ring ain't $10.
People think
that ring ain't $20,000.
People think you got to be all in front of the camera. People think you got to always be all over Instagram.
You don't. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you just got to be taking care of real business. That's what people don't realize. The ones who doing that, they ain't really taking care of real business. You know what I'm saying? They need you to feel like that. I don't need you to feel, because guess what? If I got money, I'm broke, it don't matter. You'll never know. Because I'm still going to be the same person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have nothing to prove. I don't have to prove that I'm street. I come from the project. You go check my address. Go look where I'm at. Everybody live back to know P grew up from back here. That's the motivation for the next generation. Right. You know, in educating yourself and growing up. And it's about getting money. See, the real people that have money, they lost money. You go look at the Donald Trumps and all that. They done lost $500 million and have to start over because that give you that spark to go back and get it. So I just think when people get caught up about, I don't never get caught about losing. I've been losing all my life. But it's how I win.
Yeah, how you get back.
You know what I'm saying? How
Absolutely.
I win. That's what it is. I'm going to win 10 times as much as I lose.
Right.
Somebody told me if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough.
Remember, people call it pain. I use that as experience. My pain is experience. It's not that I hold my head down, get mad at God because I went through a situation or whatever. You know, I use it as experience.
Yeah, I learned from it.
Yeah, you got to learn from it. Mm-hmm. You know, what you going to do? Oh, when you had all this, you happy. If you lose one thing, you going to go jump off the bridge? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? For what? Everybody know I'm a hustler. You could never count me out. Or you just drop me off somewhere, I'm going to make some money.
What's up with C Murder?
See, going through it, man. You know how it is. And, you know, thanks for all the prayers out there and all the people. You know how it be. You know, you incarcerated, you do stuff, but you got, as a man, it's like me. Whatever happened to me, if I had to go do a bid or whatever, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? If it was that worth it to go do it, I'm going to do it. If it's not, I'm going out here and do what I got to do with my kids.
I remember at one time it was always like the hope that he would come home. Then he did come home. Then he went back.
Well, he still got one more. He got one more shot. You know what I'm saying? He got one more shot, and you know, we just putting it in the man's hand. We know that he innocent. Mm-hmm. We know that he didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the people you hang around, you know, and it's too late for them to take the lick because they want him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how life goes. Sometimes, you know, I mean. That's how I live. I thank the man up. But one time when I went to jail, I thought, man, I'm not gonna ever get out. Mm-hmm. I got out and said, I'm gonna change my life. Right. You know, that's what God will do to you. Mm-hmm. You know, so. When's
the last time you spoke to him? Because it seemed like he was a little disgruntled with you.
She always disgruntled. You know, we family. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, I'm there for him. You know what I'm saying?
You understand.
Yeah, if you got family, and you from the streets, you understand. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Now, did you talk to Mr. Magic before he passed?
Oh, nah, I didn't talk to Magic.
Okay, y'all didn't have a relationship anymore?
Nah,
gotcha.
We didn't. It was, you know, God bless the dead, but you know what I'm saying? You know how it be. Sometimes people, it's life. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Have you talked to Mystical? Have you picked up the phone and said, Mystical, hey, man, I told you not to go over there and sign with
you know what? At the time when Mystical got out, I wasn't into the music hard. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I know Mystical, he did what he thought was best for him, you know. But I always thought it wasn't a good fit because it's just too much.
Yeah, he's too tied to No Limit.
Yeah,
That's like Silk going over there.
Yeah. But, you know, I mean, it was a good opportunity. You know, sometimes you got to take advantage of opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I'm not mad at it, but.
But was it really, though? He ain't putting nothing out.
Just got home, he got some bread, he figured to be around these young artists.
Yeah, getting a check.
Opportunity,
You know what I'm saying? Like with me, I wasn't into the music like that, so I wasn't going to give nobody no check that I wasn't going to get no money back out of.
Yeah.
You know? And like you say, the game done changed. You know, people are not giving out those type of checks unless they know they're going to get their money back. You need some insurance.
Right.
Master P is great at answering every question.
You've been doing it a long time.
No, for real. He ain't got no problems with nobody.
I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm just me. I'm thankful. I'm happy.
Have you ever thought about opening up a consulting firm for some of these artists?
You might have one.
Yeah. You know, but to be honest with you, man, these young artists are just in a rush. Mm-hmm. You know, they got a lot of talent out here. If they take their time and do some of this stuff on their own or with their team, I think they could do just because if you got a hit record, you got a hit record. Mm-hmm. No matter what. People think that somebody else got to blow you up. If you got a hit record, you in the business. That's what this generation don't understand. If you want to work.
Right.
You got to really get out there and work.
A lot of labels will sign you to off a one-hit record.
Yeah.
And then
well, the thing about it, the record's already a hit.
Right.
When you go to them. What you looking for them for? What, a couple $100,000 or whatever? If you saying all this in your record that you slinging this and you got all this money, why you gonna need to go get 100 G's from them? I ain't never had to go do it.
Right.
You know.
I saw you say that. You said that about Fat Trail. You said he was in a rush to get a check.
Yeah. Well, you know, like he probably, you know, never really had none. He come from the hood. You know, you come from that griminess. You just want to be on TV. Until you get on TV, then you see it ain't like that. A lot of those artists not really living the way. Now you in control. Somebody controlling your destination. Now, you can't drop music like the way we was gonna drop music. You know what I'm saying? You come up with something like, if it's real, let's put it out. But now you got to go to somebody preparing like, nah, we're not going to put you out till 2 years.
Right. What was this to happen?
You know what I'm saying?
You got to set this up, and first you got to get this. And then
right. Yeah. So that's what the business at. You know, sometimes it take people to learn that.
I always wondered, how did you set up promotion for your projects is y'all was dropping. It was a time where No Limit was dropping every week. It was a No Limit product in stores every week, except for Mercedes. We never saw that, and I always wanted to see that because she had a fat ass.
Yeah, see that, bro. Hold up, man. Don't talk about Mercedes.
Oh,
like
my bad.
that.
I ain't know she
Yeah,
family.
it's so disrespectful.
Nah, she ain't family, but still though, with all my people, man, you know how I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we good, man. Ain't no, you know what I'm saying? You know how we get on.
Yeah. But how was you setting it up though, promotion-wise?
What you mean setting?
Because it was dropping. They were dropping every week. So how was people able to know? Okay, unless you was going to the record store.
Let's go back to this, dog.
Okay.
Let's respect, because I'm not gonna talk about your sister, your mom, or nothing.
Got you.
Like that. You know, we need to. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the first thing, because I know you do your radio thing, and I respect that. But at the same time, Mercedes is she a female.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, you right. But she did look good on that cover, though.
Yeah, she look good. That's your opinion. But you know, it's about that's Ace B right there. What's up, youngster? Yeah. Yeah. This the future right there. Yeah. Yeah. So
what's up, bro? How you?
Yeah, that's it.
So he was asking how because I remember I was DJing heavy mixtapes that time, and this is at that time.
I just
every week there was a new project.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I invested in me. I invested in myself. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. But like I said, man, it's about respect. Charlamagne, you know, me and you go back.
Absolutely.
So it's about, you know, when we talk about women, I know I don't care. I ain't gonna disrespect no hookers or nothing, because I don't do that. I'm a man, and I don't want nobody to disrespect no people that I know. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Now, also, you was early with working with Dipset.
Yeah.
Cameron, Jim Jones, and now is there any other artists you want to work with that's maybe not your typical Cash Money, or I would say Cash Money, no limit artists? Like with Dipset, that came out the blue. We seen that, was like, oh, ish.
Yeah. Well, actually, they did bout it over.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
When P came down here, did records with them, did videos with them. It was something that nobody ever seen or thought to see.
Yeah.
Is there any artists like that you want to work with like that?
Maybe like YG. Let me see who else. You know, Nipsey Hussle.
They in town right now too. I think they had a show today.
Okay. I even Troy Ave. I like him, man. I've been checking him out. I think that he owns something. You know what I'm saying?
He's hard headed. Like he reminds me of you a little bit with the hard head. He will not sign. He was like, I will do this independent. I got my own money. I'm gonna do this myself. If they throw money at him, he won't do it.
Yeah, that's a good place to be, man. You know, you don't do nothing, you know, unless that's what you believe in, and also you don't do nothing. People do a lot of desperate stuff in this industry. So, you know, I feel like he the type of person that, you know, he keep it up, you know, and he stay hood doing what he got to do. He definitely going to get to where he need to be at.
And it's interesting because he's been doing this for so long before he really kind of, people knew who he was. Because I know Troy Ave for like maybe 6 years now.
Yeah.
And it's only kind of in the past couple of years that people are really like, okay, Troy Ave. And you would think in a position like that, you would be really quick to want to do something because you've been trying so long.
Well, I like about you got to do stuff with people you build relationships with. Like we ain't just doing stuff for, you know, it's no reason. We doing stuff that's going to make a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to have